Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us on our webinar today. My name is Ivory, and I will be your moderator for today's presentation. At the end of this presentation, we will take some questions. You may want to enter them into the question box, but make sure that they are detailed and specific. And just in case it's a question coming from something that we go over at the start of the presentation, and that will make sure that we know exactly what you're talking about. Any questions that we can't answer today, we can answer them offline afterwards, or you can email support@windwardsoftware.com or support can be able to help you out with any questions you have. And also, now you can access past webinar presentations on the website. All of the presentations are in there at www.windwardsoftware.com/webinar. You'll be able to see everything in there from the past presentations. So for today's presentation, we're going to be discussing invoice layers, which is really a great topic. And our speaker for today is Annabelle, and she is one of the tenured software specialists with Windward Software, and she's already with the company for over 5 years now. So let's get started. Take it away, Annabelle.
Thanks, Ivory. Hi, everyone. Yes, I will be the presenter for today's webinar about invoice layers. So on this webinar, we'll be discussing how you can generate layers on the fly when you are creating invoices, and we'll also discuss when do you use layers on invoices. Okay, so invoice layers. So layering is a feature within System 5 that will assist you guys in creating invoices. So it is actually very similar to the sheets in Excel wherein you can separate items. So layering can be an extremely useful feature, especially in those situations wherein the customers are purchasing different things and you want to separate them out. So when you actually create an invoice, there is a layers option at the top. So, and there are different options under the layers. So first one is new layer. So this option will allow you to create a new layer. And the second one is layer print option. So this option is on how the layer invoice is printed. So it includes the following options to select from: print items with quantities, prices, and layer subtotal, print items with quantities and layer subtotal, and print layer subtotal only. All right, so the next option is show all layers. So when you click this option, you will go back to the summary and then you can see all of the layers. And the next one is import invoice to new layer. So this option will allow you to import an invoice to the layer. For example, you have an invoice and you wanted it to be added to another invoice, which is a layer, then we can use this option to import that invoice. The next option is unlayer invoice. So this option will undo the layers. If you wanted to remove the layers, this is the option that we need to click to do so. The next one is move item to layer. So this option will allow you to move an item from one layer to the other. So like let's say you have added an item to like an incorrect layer, so you can just move, you can use this option to move that item to another layer. And the other one is move blocked items to a layer. So let's say there are multiple items that you wanted to move to a layer, so you can just block them and then at once move them all to another layer. So you can use this option, move blocked items to a layer. So we can proceed with the live demonstration. So, right. So when we create an invoice, so we go new sale. So let's say we select the any type of invoice, and let me just see here. I click in OK. So when you create an invoice, you can see at the top wherein you have a layers option. So when you click on this, you click on new layer to add a layer. So you will get a prompt to enter the name of the layer one. So like let's say for example you wanted to separate the parts and the labor. So let's say the layer one is parts, layer two is labor. All right, so as you can see, it will show at the bottom right here. So we are currently under the labor layer. So you can add all your items right here. So for example, for this example, you can add all the labors. And when you click on parts, you can add all the items. So when you go to summary, this will actually show all of the layers. So you have the description right here, which is parts and labor. So like let's say we add a part. Let's just add one. All right, so if we add a part in here, so when you go back to the summary, it will show the total amount, like the total on that particular layer. So let's say parts. So we have a total of 10 in here. And if you add labor as well, it will be included or it will be showing in here. So as what I've mentioned earlier, there is an option. Like let's say for example, you are on this parts layer. When you click on show all layers, you'll be back to the summary. So that's the purpose of that option. And let's try to add, see if I have a label right here. Okay. So, all right. So let's go to the next option from here is the layer print options. So you have three options. So the first one is print items with quantities, prices, and layer subtotals. So it will actually print everything. It will show everything. So if you select that, so we select yes, and we go print and preview. So as you can see, for parts, it has the item, it has the price, and then the total. And for labor, it has like the total for the labor, and then it has the details below it. If you will select the other options, like let's say for example, you don't want to show the prices, so only you wanted the items with quantities and then layer subtotals. So this will be the second option. You will get this message if you wish to set this for all your layers, like that print option. If it's only for one invoice, you can select no, but if that will be the setting for the rest of the layered invoices, and you can select yes. You can just change it anytime as well. So when we print, so let's preview it. So as you can see, it doesn't show the price on each item. So it will just show you the summary, like the total under the layers. So for parts, it has the total, which is 10. And then below that, it will show the items. It doesn't have the price of the item. In the labor, it also has the labor. It doesn't have the price as well. The last option is it will show the layer subtotals only, so it won't show the items. So it's like this one right here, and you have the layer one and two and parts and labor. So if we will select that and we will print preview. So there you go. So it only showed the layers with the subtotals. So for parts, you have 10. For labor, you have the 100. All right, so the other option right here, there's like import invoice to new layer option. So like let's say for example, you wanted to add an invoice in here. So if you select that option, import invoice to new layer, so we need to select the invoice. But I wonder if there is an invoice. So like let's say for example, um, this one, believe it doesn't have anything, but let me just take a look. So as you can see, after we import it, though it doesn't have anything, it added a new layer in here, and then the name of the layer is actually the invoice number, which is a ticket 00001. So if there is like an item on that invoice, it will also show right here. And let me, what's the name of the customer? Let's just add an item on that invoice so that I can show you. So let me just add an item in here, and then let's import it again to the other invoice. Okay, so let's go back and then let's select an option again. Select the invoice. So it adds the other layer. So I just need to click on another or the summary or another layer for it to update. So when you take a look at that in here, it showed all the items. And when you go back to the invoice, it will show that the quantity changed to, go back right here. Yeah, it still has that one. So these are the options. Like let's say for example, you wanted to undo the layer. You don't want to layer them anymore. So when you click on layers, you just need to select unlayer invoice. So when you click on this, you will get this information, unlayer invoice. Layer information will be lost. So when you click on yes, so the all the items will be on one. So there will be no layer anymore. So it's just like a regular invoice wherein you have added all the items. And the next option is move item to a layer. So let's say for example you wanted to layer you wanted to add a layer and move the item at the same time. So whatever is highlighted and you select this option, move item to layer, you clicked on new layer, you'll be asked to enter the name. So like let's say what's labor. So we click on OK. In layer 2, see parts. Okay. So now the where did I move it? Okay, so now the so like let's say you have the other items right here, and this should not be in the labor part, so we just need to move them. So let's just block them and to parts. So we select move block items to a layer, and then we select parts, and then there you go, they are added under the parts. And that should do it for the live demonstration for the invoice layers. So before we proceed with your question, I'd just like to inform you guys that we also have resources available, which includes the Help Center. So it is available on windwardsoftware.com/help. We also have a customer care portal wherein you can search our knowledge base, you can submit and track support tickets, and the URL for that is support.windwardsoftware.com. And we also have Windward Learning Academy, wherein you can spin up new employees in its lesson-based topics, and you can access that through academy.windward on cloud.com. And we also have Windward Professional Services. So if you wanted to get guidance from one of our professional services specialists we're in, you can have like an in-depth discussion on certain topics. You can contact them through windwardsoftware.com/professional desk services, or you can contact your account manager for a quote or call at 1-800-663-5750. And we also have an emergency support hotline. So the following situations qualify for emergency support. Let's say you have entire system down, you're unable to take payment, you cannot log in into System 5, or you're recovering from a power outage. You can submit an emergency support request at onewordsoftware.com/emergency. And the last one is we do have webinar archives. So you can go to windwardsoftware.com/webinars. You can sign up for future webinars from there, and then you can view previously recorded events. All right, so we can now proceed with questions and answer if you have questions.
Thank you so much, Annabelle. Yeah, we have a first question here from Erica Jensen. She said, "What does it mean to block an item? Is it just to select multiple items to move to a new layer?"
Yes, that's right. So block is just to select the item. So that option is used to like move items. You don't want to that you can use the block if you don't want to like select each item, so you can block them and then move them at once.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Erica. Any more questions? And while waiting for others to type in their questions, I'd like to invite everyone on to the next webinar topic that we will be having on the that will be on May 25th, or sorry, hold on. Oh, sorry. The next webinar that we will be having is going to be on June 1st. That will be about national accounts. So if there's anyone else that is interested in that particular topic about the national accounts, that will be held on June 1st. That's a Thursday, 2 weeks from now, and at the same time, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Again, as we mentioned, if there's any questions that you might have, that you might be able to come up after the this webinar session, you can go to our portal and create and track your support tickets at Windward support.windwardsoftware.com. That way you can be able to send your ticket in there or request for a ticket in there and at the same time track it as well. Okay, there is another questions that we have. Can you split payment amongst the layers? In example, take layer first payment on Monday, then take layer 2 payment on Tuesday.
Okay, so payment. Let me just check. I believe there should be an option right here. It show the total though. Let me just check right here. Parts 24. Mm, okay. Okay, well, when I checked it in here though, it seems like there is no option to do so because when I tendered a payment, it applies to all it doesn't actually, it doesn't allow you to select which layer you wanted to pay. So when you do tender it, you just accept the payment, but you can actually have partial payments, but there is no option to apply it to like a specific layer, because when you pay, it will just be applied to like to all. It will show on the summary how much is paid, but not on the layers.
Okay, I hope that answered your questions, Erica. And also, there's a question from Kat. She said, can you use this layering for taking multiple work orders to make into one?
Yes, you can use this by importing, because there's an option to import invoice, right? You can, like, let's say if you wanted all those work orders into one, you can use the option import invoice to new layer. So all of those work orders will be added in here. When you import that invoice, it will show, I mean, like the name of the layer is the invoice number, or like that work order number.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Kat. Another one from Nicole. Would you consider this to be easier than block and move for the invoices?
Well, they have different functions, or like they have different um functionality. Like the block and move though, is it's when you're ready to block and move is usually when you wanted to move those parts that are already shipped, right? The purpose of the layers is just to separate the items, just in case your customer have separate items. Like let's say for example, you have you're selling furniture, so you wanted to separate, like this is for the bedroom, this is for the living room, so something like that. So it depends on what you actually need though. So I hope
Okay,
that answers your question. Mhm.
okay, another follow-up question from a Kat. Then, does the work order that got inputted voided or is it left as a work order?
It will still be left as a work order though.
Okay, question from Nicole. Example, some things may not be in and we have to order, so we'll deliver only partial order to customer. Currently, I block and move to split the invoice.
Hmm.
I think that's pertaining to her first question about
Uh,
considering this to be easier than block and move for the invoices. And she said, example, some things may not be in and we have to order, so we will deliver only partial order to customer. Currently, I block and move to split the invoice.
uh, okay. Well, with that particular scenario though, it's best to use a block and move, because with the layers, it's still the same invoice type. Like let's say work order, it's still a work order though. So like if it was shipped and you wanted to see that it was shipped, then you can use the block and move option.
Okay, another question here from Erica. When you import existing work orders into a new work sorry, when you import existing work orders into a new one, does it duplicate them or they all merge into one? Just thinking about how that works in the backroom financial side.
Um, as you can see though, when I import the invoice, it's still existing. So when you import a work order, what will happen is it will it will show a layer of that work order in here with a part. That work order is still existing in the system, so it won't be deleted. But the quantity though on that invoice will show zero if it's a work order. But the work order is still existing, so it won't be deleted.
Okay, thanks for that, Annabelle. And another question from Sean Williams. He said, when importing an invoice to a layer, is it just copying or copying the items on that invoice? It is not linking the imported invoice to that invoice.
Yeah, so it will just copy the item, right? And then it will take out the quantity if it's a work order. So it's not linked. So it's just like it's like you're taking that item from that work order into this layer. But the work order will still be in there, still be existing. It's just that the quantity will be zero.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Sean. And any more questions? We still have a few minutes for you guys. And again, if there's any questions that you might have after this session, you can always create a ticket onto our portal, and from there you can also be able to track them. Or you can also call support, and we do have a people from the first responders to answer you right away. Okay. Seems like everyone is good, and uh, I hope everyone can join us in our next webinar. Again, I mentioned earlier it will be on June 1st, Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, and that will talk about national accounts. And I think um, there's no other any questions left, Annabelle. And thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. And I hope to see you guys again in the next 2 weeks. And you guys have a great weekend, or sorry, have a great day as well.
All right, bye everyone.
Thank you so much, and goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.